D, wait for it, delightful.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
What's up, nerds, and welcome to my week in review, where I come to you every Sunday with 3 entertainment stories that I personally find interesting, and then we discuss them down below. Now, also down below, you can find the articles that I read to bring you this video, and you can read them, or you can just watch this video, because I'm going to do it a little bit differently this week. I'm going to read the article out loud. I'm a little crunched for time, you guys. It's nice outside. I want to take my kids outside and everything, so I'm gonna just read through the article with you guys and everything. Before I get started, though, I just want to say that if you like what I do here and you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. YouTube is always changing up their algorithm, and small channels like mine, we always get shoved to the back of the line. So I please ask that you like, share, and subscribe, and I thank you in advance. All right, now that I've got all that business out of the way, why don't we get down to it? So why don't we go ahead and start on with our first story? So it says right here from the Hollywood Reporter, one of my favorites, Harrison Ford to star in Apple TV Plus series from Ted Lasso duo, Jason Segel. I love how it just threw in Jason Segel's last name. So it says, Shrinking, also starring Jason Segel, will be the first ongoing series role in the actor's long career, which I think is fascinating. Okay, so it says Harrison Ford will take on his first ongoing TV series role in a comedy for Apple TV Plus. Ford will star with Jason Segel in Shrinking, which comes from the Ted Lasso producers, Bill Lawrence and Brett Goldstein and Siegel. Now, I have to say real quick, I love Ted Lasso. I love that show so much. I'll talk about the 2 actors in just a second, but I love Ted Lasso. That show is fantastic. Ted Lasso is the kind of person that I want to be around. So yeah. The series, picked up in October 2021, centers on the grieving therapist, Siegel, who begins to break the rules and tell his clients exactly what he thinks, ignoring his training and ethics. He finds himself making huge changes to people's lives, including his own. It says, Ford will play Dr. Phil Rhodes, a down-to-earth and sharp blue-collar shrink and pioneer in cognitive behavioral therapy. I don't know what kind of therapy that is, but sounds like fun. He shares a practice with 2 of his proteges, Jimmy Siegel and Gabby, and has recently been diagnosed with Parkinson's, which forces him out of his comfort zone as he deals with intrusive friends, his estranged family, and his legacy. I love how I can't read right now all of a sudden. Oh, all of a sudden, Matt, you can't read? How about every day? Shrinking, which is an excellent title for this, will be the first series regular role for Ford in his storied career. He made a few great guest appearances on TV series in the 1960s and 70s and reprised one of his most famous movie roles in an episode of Young Indiana Jones Chronicles in 1993. He recently wrapped filming on Indiana Jones 5 and starred in a 2020 adaptation of Call of the Wild. Ford is repped by UTA and Zephyrin Bradham. Warner Brothers TV, where Lawrence Dozer's production has an overall deal, is producing Shrinking. Siegel, Lawrence, and Ted Lasso Emmy winner Goldstein are writing the series and will exclusive produce, and Neil Goldman and Dozer's Jeff Ingold and Lisa Ketzer. The series is the 3rd Lawrence has made with Apple TV Plus, following Ted Lasso and the Vince Vaughn-led Bad Monkey. Siegel, currently on HBO's Winning Time, also has a feature film, The Sky is Everywhere, at Apple. And that's the end of the article. I just want to go back up here because it sounds fascinating. I just want to say, now, as far as Harrison Ford goes, I love Harrison Ford. That man, I tell you, I'll watch anything he's in. It's not always good, but I'll watch anything he's in. I love him. He's great. Jason Segel's all right. I don't have anything against Jason Segel. I just, for me, he's not my favorite. As far as TV, Apple TV Plus goes, I really don't like Apple because of their stuff they do in China. They get like free labor, or like cheap labor and stuff, and they don't address it, but they'll address every other thing politically. As far as their series goes, their series are pretty good. I mean, I did morning what was that morning news or whatever that morning show. That was okay. I only watched season 1. I don't have Apple TV Plus anymore. I got it free for a year with my iPhone, my new phone. And I watched Ted Lasso, and then I did Churn to watch season 2. I waited till it all came out, and then I watched I just bought it for the month. And then I did want to watch that one with Chris Evans in it, but I didn't because who's got time these days? But their stuff they put out is quality. It's just, I don't know, man. Like with all the streaming services, I don't know if I'm going to be watching this show, not because I don't like Apple TV or Harrison Ford or Jason Siegel. It's just, who can afford all these streaming services? I churn like hardcore when it comes to this stuff. Like, the 3 that I'm keeping on the regular are HBO Max, Netflix, which those 2 are the most expensive, and then I have Disney Plus. So for me to just grab on another one, I usually just churn it, or if it's on something like Paramount Plus, which is usually they drop stuff on Amazon, so I usually just buy that's stuff there if it's on there. All right, you guys. I do think that this sounds interesting. I think that I love, psychotherapy as far as, entertainment value goes. And in real life, I think that some people will benefit from it. I've done it before. I think it's beneficial, maybe not as ongoing for some people, like for me, just to do it every now and then, just to get my head balanced and stuff like that, and just realize what's going on and stuff like that. But I think that this sounds great, especially with the whole him having Parkinson's and, did it say Parkinson's? Parkinson's. Yeah, he has Parkinson's, and it'll be just interesting to see where they go with this. So that is my first story of the day. So for my second story this week, FKA Twigs joins Bill Skarsgard in the Crow Reboot. Now, I did this video, I believe, last weekend, and you can check that up in the iCard section. But this one, so it says the supernatural revenge thriller is being directed by Rupert Sanders, which I talked about that in that video also, and that's FKA Twigs. I don't like her name. Is FKA like, what does that stand for? Let's see if it says. Okay, FKA Twigs. I'm just gonna call her Twigs. That's just so long. It doesn't even roll off the tongue. I wonder why she named herself that. If you know, tell me. The British singer and dancer, who I've never heard her music before, so I have no idea if she's any good. You can tell me also that. Dancer who is making inroads into acting is co-starring in the reboot and reimagining of The Crow, the supernatural revenge thriller being directed by Rupert Sanders. And as I said before, I think he's more famous for cheating on his wife with Kristen Stewart than anything else, which is so sad. I hate when that stuff goes sad. But he also did that movie, Snow White and the Huntsman, and then he did recently Ghost in the Shell, unless he did something else that I don't know about. But those are the 2 that I know about off the top of my head, because I did that story last week. Anyways, Bill Skarsgård, who played Pennywise the Clown in the It horror movies, is top-lining the project, which has seen numerous iterations and close calls come and go amid years of development. Yes, it has. Crow was an indie comic written and drawn by James O'Barr in the late 1980s that told the dark tale of a man and his fiancée who are assaulted and killed by a gang after the couple's car breaks down. The man is resurrected by a crow and exacts revenge on those who took his life and the life of his love. And like I said before in that last video, that comic book is I have the trade in that closet back there in my comics box, and that comic is very good. I read that when I was younger because my brother had it. And I just remember loving it as a kid. Like, I just thought it was so good. And I read it after I watched the movie from the 90s, and I love that movie from the 90s. And it's different, it's very different, but at the same time, it's a little, it's kind of the same, Anyways, Twigs is playing the girlfriend / fiance. The role was not significant in the original movie, but sources say that in this reimagining, the part has been reconceived into a co-lead It is unclear if the character never quite dies, perhaps returns in some supernatural form, or may even be a representation of the crow itself. I have to say right now, I don't know what they're doing with that. It sounds like they're not going to do the comic book like they should. But I have to say that when it comes to this, in the comic book, she does like come to him in like visions and talks to him. So I don't think, and I can't remember all of it. It's been a long time since I've read it. If you're a comic book reader, you know how it is. You buy the comic book, you read it the first time, and then you just every now and then you return there and you watch it or you read it. And that's how it is with me with comic books. I'll probably try to read it before this movie comes out. Continuing. Crow is due to begin shooting in June, with production to take place in Prague and Munich. Producing are Victor Haddada, Molly Hassel, John Jenks, and Edward R. Pressman. Dan Fra is an executive producer on the project. Twigs earlier this year released a mixtape album titled Capri Songs, and had a song on the Kingsman soundtrack. Good for her. I do not know her music. Okay, that's it. Look at those buff people. Anyways, I think, listen, I don't know anything about this singer. I don't know if the only thing I know about her is she dated Robert Pattinson for a hot minute, which is so crazy. But that she dated Robert Pattinson, and the director of this cheated on his wife with Robert Pattinson's girlfriend at the time, Kristen Stewart. Man, sometimes Hollywood's probably a small town because things just came full circle, huh? But good for her. I want nothing but good things for people. The world sucks, life sucks. Not altogether. You know what I'm talking about. But and when anybody can have something good happen to them, I'm always happy for them. I don't know if she's a good person, but I just want good things for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that is my second story of the week. So for my third and final story we're going to do 2 articles to cover this story. And so we're going to talk about the Will Smith slap, but we're mostly going to be talking about he was banned from the Oscars for 10 years after he smacked Chris Rock. And I'm going to have a video playing of the slap right here. And I just want to talk, the reason I didn't cover this originally wasn't because I didn't have an opinion on it. It was just because everybody else had already covered it to death. I was going to cover it that week on my week in review, but I didn't because, again, everybody had covered it to death. And I think that most people were just covering at that point just for the clicks. And I wanted to talk about this because this is significant for Will Smith's career. Excuse me, please. And I think that, this speaks volumes to what's going on in this situation, and I've seen a lot of stuff come out since then, people attacking Jada Pinkett Smith, people attacking Will Smith. And this is the thing. It's already said and done. The Academy is taking care of it. I don't think after this, I probably won't cover it unless something really big happens. But I really think we just need to let this story die, He is being punished now. I think he's been punished enough online, man. I feel the memes alone are they're great, but I feel bad for him. I mean, he deserves what he gets. He attacked Chris Rock physically. That's not acceptable. I will not accept violence, physical violence. He could have handled that situation way better. I can get angry, but I've never hit anybody. I'll just talk and be like, yo, you disrespected my wife. You need to apologize, right now. Because if you don't, we're going to have an issue. So you need to apologize. That's what he should have done. But, in hindsight's always 2020. Okay, let's get to this article. I have 2 articles I want to read because he did respond. And I do want to talk about. Okay, so it's nearly 2 weeks after the 2022 Oscars, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences has decided that this year's Best Actor winner won't be permitted to return to the ceremony or any other Academy event for a decade, which is, I thought they would do it for 2 or 3 years, but man, a whole 10 years. That's crazy. Which just means he can't, attend. I don't know if that means he can't win, but let's read and see if that does mean that he can't win. I have something in my eye. Okay. Will Smith, who stormed the stage at the I don't know if stormed is really the right word, but anyways, 2022 Oscars to slap Chris Rock shortly before winning the year's Best Actor prize, has been banned from attending the Oscars and all other Academy events for 10 years. The Academy's Board of Governors decided Friday. I accept and respect the Academy's decision, Smith said in a statement following the announcement. I do have an article that I want to read through that. The decision comes following a meeting that had initially been scheduled for April 18th, my daughter's birthday, before Academy President David Rubin scheduled it earlier this week after Smith resigned from the Academy last Friday. As Rubin wrote in his letter to board members, suspension or exclusion are no longer a possibility, and the legally prescribed timetable no longer applies. It is in the best interest of all involved for this to be handled in a timely fashion, which I do agree with that. The 94th Oscars were meant to be a celebration of the many individuals in our community who did incredible work this past year. However, those moments were overshadowed by the unacceptable and harmful behavior we saw Mr. Smith exhibit on stage. Rubin and Academy CEO Dawn Hudson wrote in a letter following the meeting. During our telecast, we did not adequately address the situation in the room for this. We are sorry. This was an opportunity for us to set an example for our guest viewers and our Academy family around the world, and we fell short, unprepared for the unprecedented. If I could read, man, it's early for me as I'm recording this. I know, excuses for your for your stupidity. I agree with that, except for I love how they're talking about how this was a night of celebration for individuals that did good work. And I just want to be like, yeah, it's, you pompous assholes celebrating yourselves. Get out of here. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Today, the Board of Governors convened a meeting to discuss how best to respond to Will Smith's actions at the Oscars, in addition to accepting his resignation. The board has decided for a period of 10 years from April 8th, 2022, Mr. Smith shall not be permitted to attend any Academy events or programs in person or virtually, including but not limited to the Academy Awards. The letter goes on to express gratitude to Rock for maintaining his composure under extraordinary circumstances, which he did. I think he did a good job there, and to call its decision a step toward a larger goal of protecting the safety of our performers and guests and restoring trust in the Academy. I have to agree with that. From now on, they should have bodyguards somewhere where it's like, you cannot go up on stage if it's not your time. You can't go up on stage, because that was ridiculous. And then they lied and said that they asked Will Smith to leave. And then the producer, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, was like, no, that's not true and everything. So, I mean, the Academy, they failed in this situation in protecting Chris Rock. And I know some people are like, Chris Rock's a douche, he deserved it and everything. I don't think, no matter what your past, depending on, but I don't think Chris Rock has done anything to deserve being slapped over a stupid joke. Like, the joke wasn't even funny. And anyways, Smith's slap on Oscar night left virtually everyone watching stunned. And though the Academy has claimed that Smith was asked to leave the ceremony, accounts vary, to put it mildly, but the drumbeat of outrage only grew louder in the days following the ceremony. And by the time Smith resigned last Friday, a sanction from the Academy seemed inevitable. I have directly responded to the Academy's disciplinary hearing notice, and I will further accept any and all consequences for my conduct, Smith wrote in a statement at the time of his resignation. My actions at the 94th Academy Awards presentation were shocking, painful, and inexcusable. I agree. The ripple effect of Smith's actions has extended far beyond the Academy itself. Netflix has reportedly moved an upcoming Smith project to the back burner, and Apple TV Plus, a fresh Best Picture winner for Coda, will face tough choices on how to handle their upcoming film, Emancipation, in which Smith plays a man escaping slavery. In addition to his Academy resignation statement and his rambling Best Actor acceptance speech, which was so sad. Ugh. He should just have not gone. He should have just said thank you and left. Smith has also posted a statement on Instagram apologizing to Rock and the Academy. Rock, other than a quick aside at the beginning of the recent stand-up set in Boston, has yet to comment on the event publicly. Now, I just have to say right now, as far as the work goes, I understand Netflix putting his movie on the back burner, whatever project it was. I can't remember what it was. And I also understand Apple TV, they don't know what to do. I don't know if Smith should not work ever again. I mean, like, this is the thing. Hold on, let me see if this is it. That's the rest of it. Okay. I don't know if Will Smith should not be able to work ever again. I think that if he does, I think maybe he should take a break for a couple of years because of this, but I don't think he should not work again. Come on. He made a bad decision. He's being punished. I think that, and I mean, he'll never be able to live this down. There's no way. And from now on, if somebody says a joke that you don't like me, whenever somebody pisses me off, yeah, I get mad, but I usually just leave. I would have if I was him, I would have just left. And then if anybody, I would have just, if I won, I would have just been like, yo, I was pissed off. Chris Rock sucks kind of thing. And then Chris Rock would have been the bad guy. All right. So moving over to this article from Page Six. I love Page Six. It's such a rag. Anyways, 2 writers on this one. Man, people can't write anymore. So I kind of wanted that. Okay, so Will Smith has responded to the Academy's decision to ban him from events for a decade. I accept and respect the Academy's decision, he said in a brief statement to Page Six on Friday. And I read that to you last. Smith's response came minutes after the Academy of Motion Picture and Arts and Science announced that it was banning him from all of the organization's events 10 years for slapping Chris Rock at the 2022 Oscars. The Board of Governors has decided for a period of 10 years from April 8th, 2022, Smith shall not, and I've already read that to you. The statement continued, we express a deep gratitude for Chris Rock for maintaining his exposure under I already read that to you in the last article. We also want to thank our host nominees, presenters, and winners for their poise and grace during our telecast. The actor 53 will keep the Oscar he won this year for his role in King Richard, which that I think, I mean, like I said, I think that it would have been more devastating if he had lost his Oscar. And I think maybe that would have been a better punishment. But at the same time, this punishment, I mean, maybe this isn't like a huge punishment because he just can't go to the Oscars. And it's like, so can he still win? That's the whole thing. All right. Last week, Smith announced that he had resigned from the Academy. I already read my actions. Okay, I already read that to you. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air alum shocked the world when he slapped Chris Rock 57 across the face on March 27th after the comedian made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head. The girl's trip actress 50. She's 50. She looks good for 50. Struggles with alopecia, a condition that causes hair loss. Now, I don't. That's the slap. But I mean, we shouldn't. Look down on alopecia. It does affect people sometimes negatively, but in this case, I still don't see he still shouldn't have smacked him. Anyways, while Smith did not apologize to Rock while accepting his Oscar, he did issue a statement on Instagram nearly 24 hours after the ceremony, writing, "Violence is all in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Award was unacceptable and inexcusable." He added, "Jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about my Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally." I mean, that's kind of understandable, but at the same time, You still it doesn't make it okay. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. See, that's another thing. Don't apologize on Instagram. That's like breaking up with somebody on a text. It's not the same thing. I'm embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in this world of love and kindness. Rock decided not to press charges and has yet to formally address the matter, which I thought was big of him also, because if he would have smacked me, I would have pressed charges. I'm like, nope, you're going to jail now. You're going to go to jail now. Yeah. All right, you guys. So that is that. That's my third and final story this week. Tell me, what did you guys think about all of this? How do you feel about Harrison Ford and Jason Siegel starring in this shrinking TV series for Apple TV Plus? God, that's such a long name. Do you like this idea of this show about shrinks and everything, or is this something you're just not interested? Do you have Apple TV Plus, or are you just like me and you churn when a show comes out that you want to watch? And then, how do you feel about Harrison Ford? I love Harrison Ford. He's so great. How do you feel about FKA Twigs joining the cast of The Crew as the girlfriend of Billy Skarsgard's Eric Draven / The Crow? Do you like FKA Twigs? Do you like her music? I don't know her music, so I can't comment on that. She's very pretty. Do you like her music? Do you not like her music? Do you think she's going to do a good job? How do you feel about them? They did race bend this part because it's was a white girl in the comic books and everything. Or do you think that she's not a good choice because she's not a trained actress? All that good stuff. And then how do you feel about Will Smith's ban from the Oscars? Do you think, like me, that this is a good choice for the Oscars to do, the Academy and everything? Or do you think that they maybe should have, that maybe he's gotten enough from the public, because the public can be brutal sometimes? Or do you think that they didn't go far enough and they should have taken his Oscar away and, he should be, kicked out of SAG and all that stuff? Yeah. Tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys next week on my week in review. You guys have a good week. Bye.
Hey nerds, if you like this video, go ahead and click that Geek What icon and subscribe. And if you like this video, go ahead and join me every Sunday with my Week in Review.